Vegetarians eat secretions meant for babies. They basically pay for the murder of babies. They're as bad as you. Super-smartie pants astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson recently spoke on the concept of speciesism on his channel. The idea that, some species we respect and, maybe we even adore and love. Some we kind of ignore and some we treat in the worst possible ways, confining, mutilating, exploiting, murdering them for something as trivial as a sandwich. He's not vegan, so he is himself a speciesist. So I guess that this video is going to be him trying to vindicate himself and try to justify his atrocious treatment of his fellow Earthlings. He's an intelligent guy, so he shouldn't be so thick as to think that that's a possibility. But let's see how it goes. It could be interesting.
Chuck.
Yes.
I have an idea for an explainer.
Okay.
And I just want to riff on plants and animals.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a lesson in here or insights, but I just have a lot of thoughts. I'm just going to sort of spill them out.
Well, here's my first thought. Both delicious.
Their dead bodies taste good to me, so I'm going to be a complete, absolute tyrant. I'm going to be the most evil thing since Adolf Hitler had a baby with the devil. How funny. How very funny. Okay, so in this instance, you're the oppressor, so, that's hilarious. Now let's put you in the victim role. Say a sexual predator chooses your daughter as his next victim. Are you okay with that? According to your logic, that's fine because that will feel nice to him. What's that? You've changed your mind all of a sudden? Oh, what a surprise. So perhaps have a bit of thought for others. Black people weren't put on this earth for white people to exploit. Females are not there for males to take advantage of. And animals are here too for their own purposes. Don't be so evil. Whatever's wrong with you?
All right. So
sick.
Here. I just want to share some points of view. Do you remember all of the concerns people had about tuna being caught by nets? And the issue wasn't that tuna were being caught by nets. It was that the nets were trapping...
hurting dolphins. Because dolphins aren't delicious. And tuna is.
Tuna smells like a men's urinal. If you think that's delicious, let's just say we share different values on that kind of thing. Yeah, that seems a little bit mental.
That wasn't okay. So the argument was in the net, the tuna can breathe, but the dolphin can't.
Right.
Because a dolphin is an air breather and it doesn't breathe in the water. Right. So you kill the dolphins if the net doesn't come up quickly enough.
Yeah, you drown them.
Well, here's something about the dolphin. Because it breathes and eats from two different orifices in its body, it means it can't choke while eating the way we can.
And by the way, 90% of choking deaths happen when we're eating meat. So are we designed to eat plants or meat? To figure that one out, brain box.
How you like that?
Well, I got to
There's no dolphin that ever...
How'd you like my apples?
Choked from eating the pastrami sandwich. I'm just saying.
That, however, is not a design flaw for us because I don't want to look at somebody with a butthole in their neck.
Why not? You're just spouting a load of
I'm just...
Your mouth seems to be Uranus.
All right, so it's a design failure for us and a design feature for the dolphin, even though they're swimming in the water. All right. Here's my point. The fact that we're protecting the dolphins but eating the tuna, I remember thinking to myself, why doesn't anybody care about the tuna? Right?
Well, some of us do.
It's also a big fish. All right. It had a life in the ocean. And so I realized that we have species bias.
Well done. No, Sherlock. He really is super intelligent, this guy. Genius.
Yeah, I'm going to go with...
We have species bias. We're saying...
I don't want to admit what you're saying is true.
Because that means I'm a horrible person because I victimize animals 3 times a day with my food choices when I could, just eat some beans.
We don't want to admit it.
I don't want to admit it, but...
We don't like to admit it.
Yeah,
but it's there. I just want to reveal this in case people hadn't thought it through.
So let's hope you've thought it through and you've gone vegan.
So we're saying we value the dolphin over the... No, we're not talking about vegetarians here who would eat neither. But for those who would eat the...
Vegetarians eat secretions meant for babies. They basically pay for the murder of babies. They're as bad as you.
The tuna, and specifically not eat the dolphin because it's a mammal. So what you're saying is that in the tree of life, which has fungus and bacteria and plants and animals, you have taken this slender branch in that tree of life called mammals, which is a offshoot from vertebrates. Both dolphins and tuna are vertebrates, but dolphins are a spin-off of that called mammals, and they lactate, they give live birth, as do we. So we are saying you are close enough to us that we value your life above other life on this tree of life. And some people said, no, it's not that they're mammals, it's that they have big brains. Their brain is larger than us. Okay, so now we're saying we value them because they have big brains. Whatever rules you want to invoke, I just want to make sure.
Is it okay to eat thick humans then? Does that make it okay? No.
People fully understand every...
Be a lot less carnivore dieters, by the way.
Living thing on Earth is as far away from an evolutionary place from the very first single-celled life as is all other life on Earth. So you're saying, oh, the brain is important for survival. Oak trees are still alive today, and they don't have any brains, okay? And they're doing just fine.
Let's keep that in mind for later on. Plants don't have brains, therefore they can't feel fear or pain. Let's keep that in mind just in case he goes down the plants though route.
Earthworms are doing just fine, and they coexist with us 4.5 billion years after the Earth has formed.
What's all this about?
So,
he's raving.
All I'm saying is that whatever struggles, trials, and tribulations we went through as vertebrate mammals, every single other living thing on this Earth has also survived to this point, or evolved to fit this point. So you want to value judge it? This is a mammal, this has a brain, all right, but have you stopped and thought about what a tree is? It won't budge when you careen off the road in your car.
This is true.
Okay, the mass of that oak tree vastly exceeds you plus your automobile. And so many people have not survived an encounter with a tree. So we go through this tree of life and cherry pick it for things we like, for whatever reasons we invoke at the time. And we could be influential on others and gather groups of people to feel the same way about that. So you will not kill an animal to eat it, but you will slaughter all manner of plant life.
How can you slaughter something that's not sentient, you silly boy?
And eat it. So you're okay with that.
Oh my God, he is going plants though, isn't he? He is. I was joking earlier. Fucking hell.
But not eating the animals. You have judged that your side of the tree of life is more important than this other side of the tree of life.
How about just not eating sentient life? Just not causing pain and suffering. And if you're so worried about plants, animals eat a lot more plants than we do. So, by default, you'd go vegan. So, case closed.
Very important point I want to make. Even sticking with the animal side of the tree of life, because we're animals, and we're even so, we prefer the fuzzy, cuddly ones. Right? We prefer, why is it that the squirrel is cute, but the opossum is nasty? Is it because the opossum doesn't have hair on its tail?
Yes.
And it's not bushy, and it doesn't look at you? It's ugly. All right, so we are value judging.
So is it okay to kill ugly humans then? No. Stupid.
Animals on their beauty for what we want to protect and what we don't. There are things that most of us would just as soon not have, like lethal viruses, like ticks, like mosquitoes, like bacteria, dysentery. These are life forms that we share the earth with.
Most of which aren't sentient, so what's the problem?
A community of people that's saying, save the ticks. Somehow we're all okay exterminating them, killing them, getting them out of because they carry disease, or not only the ticks, who are the jumpers? The
kangaroos.
Fleas.
The fleas, okay? The fleas, by all account, carried the bubonic plague. If the world never had another flea, you probably wouldn't miss it. But that meant you would be exterminating a branch of the tree of life a species in the tree of life because it's not convenient for you.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay to stab a cow in the neck, does it?
And so we are about to completely eradicate there's a worm. What's it called? The
wiggly woo.
Guinea worm.
Guinea worm.
Which only affects humans. All right. We're about to completely eradicate that. We basically eradicated smallpox. All right. Well, what about the smallpox microbes? All right.
What about the right to self-defense? Next.
How do they feel about this?
Veganism is not purposely being cruel to animals or exploiting animals where possible and practicable. So we have the right to self-defense. So your argument is null and void. Thank you.
So I'm just saying,
need to get a lawyer just like everybody else
to plead their case.
Defend the fact that they should be here.
So I'm not landed anywhere. I just think about all of life and all the struggles that life had to go through to get to where it is today.
And I abuse it all equally. I like to add to its trials and tribulations and struggles and suffering because I'm number one.
In the tree of life, 4.5 billion years after life began.
Wow.
And so when I eat lettuce or cucumber, I'm thinking, like as they say with the Native Americans, I'm thankful to the plant.
The plant don't give a it doesn't understand it doesn't even think.
In the same way, I'm thankful to the pig or the cow.
Oh, they're so grateful. They'll die happily knowing that. Number one, they don't know that. And number two, they couldn't give a shit. They just want to live. Why are you such a bully? Why? You could eat something healthy instead. Astrophysicist is honestly saying plants are I've seen it all now. Jesus.
Kind of stuck killing in order to survive. As primitive as that might be, it's that anything you can digest was once alive.
Yeah, and plants don't have a brain or a central nervous system, so what difference does it make, you dumb... Oh, you ding-dong! To coin Ellie's phrase.
Be it plant or animal. So we live on a planet where all animals kill other living things to survive. I just think of all life as sacred.
If you thought of animals as sacred, you don't even have to think they're sacred. You just need to think that they deserve respect and to be able to live their own lives, to not murder them, let alone think they're sacred. What a bunch of complete horse. What is wrong with this guy? He's meant to be intelligent, and this is the least intelligent argument of the lot.
I don't value judge one life over another.
You don't have any values. You don't think that someone should be able to live, just because you want to eat their dead body in a sandwich. That is the most selfish thing in the world. Name me one thing more selfish than that. What a horrible person.
To us on the tree of life, because it's all here.
Jesus.
We're all sharing the same earth. If I were to design Earth differently, I'd have everybody have to go through photosynthesis. And you wouldn't have to kill anything.
Right.
Just go out and sunbathe. I got my day's energy today. All right, let's go running.
Oh, God, I have a beautiful tan, and I'm so full.
I'm so full of energy. That's right. That's right. So aliens that might only thrive on photosynthesis from their host planet or its equivalent will come here and wonder what the hell is wrong with humans.
Wow, man. Listen.
Well, humans with some intelligence wonder what the hell's wrong with people who eat meat when you could just eat plants and not be a complete savage. What about that?
This is...
I don't mean to get all deep on you here, but
this is really some deep philosophical stuff, man.
I think about it.
It's a complete mental gymnastics to try and feel okay about paying others to stab animals in the neck where you could just eat like a mixed bean chili. That's all it is. Just stupidity.
All the time when I'm preparing food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, you're so clever. You're so deep.
How about this?
I must run out and murder a load of animals because, I might crush a blade of grass and kill it by accident.
What?
How about this? How about if I just cut the leaves off of plants, but I never take the plant down? I just prune the plant and I eat the parts of the plant. Like if I were to harvest children, but only eat their fingers.
What? No. Here it would be. You harvest colonies of newts, and you bite off their legs and tails,
and they'll grow back.
They'll grow back.
Right. How about that?
That's a new diet, the newt diet. Yeah, so I don't know. Was this an explainer video? I don't know. It was more just me sharing
a pile of horse
with you some of my daily thoughts.
I don't know, man. We're definitely going to get some feedback on this one, man. I think it's a very interesting premise to ponder because it...
Yeah, I think it's a complete moron too. That's a very polite way of putting it, young sir.
Challenges our biases and causes us to reassess our perspectives.
How about this one? If it's perfectly possible to survive and thrive without harming others unnecessarily, why wouldn't you? Let's hear your answer to that one. Let's ask like a proper question instead of these bull justifications.
Because most of what we are assigning value to is done so based on what we deem valuable. Right. Period.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. The brain, it's a spinal column, mammal features. Yeah, it's just we've made a judgment, and I don't know.
How about just stopping it and treating everyone fairly, just being kind? Not even being kind, just not being nasty to others just because they look a bit different. How about that? What a crazy concept.
That I'm prepared to do that because I respect all life. And until...
I respect all life, so I pay others to jab a knife in their neck. You don't respect anything.
We have organizations that say save the ticks. Save the roaches, save the rats.
Now, I'm just going to say that...
Whatever makes you feel okay with your unnecessary, brutal murder and suffering that you visit on thousands throughout your lifetime. What a guy.
That back in the late 80s, when I used to do this, we did have a little Save the Roaches consortium, but it was a different kind of roach.
Okay.
Drugs.
Hey man, you gonna throw that away? No, man.
Well, and speaking of animals, you needed the alligator clip to hold the roach.
There you go.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist.
And I'm full of complete horse. Now click this.